The reason it is difficult for us to attract a harmonious relationship when we are participating in one-night stands, mindless, miscellaneous, and random sex is because our self-esteem is very low when we are participating in such behavior and habit. We understand how sacred our sexual and creative energy is at the baseline level, the inner child level. And when we are not creating a safe home, an environment for our inner child to play and to be adventurous and to be, imaginative and inspired, because we're literally inviting in possible danger or inviting in possible sort of karmas that can really, really affect the inner child's creative destiny. What can happen is, our inner child can kind of hide within us, it can even sort of burrow deeper within us, because the inner child does not want to be involved in something that is going to sort of put a program inside of its consciousness that could possibly strip away the very core strength and spiritual essence of itself. Right? So a lot of times when people's inner child is deep inside of themselves, is because they haven't built up a strong enough self-esteem to be able to sort of metabolize and sort of create a defense and a shield, an auric shield, even a psychological shield against the programs in many ways that kind of strip the inspiration, imagination, and the sort of infinite possibility from the essence, from the inner child that really is the sort of engine behind our manifesting of the fifth dimension in this third dimensional physical experience. The inner child deals with words such as, these are big words, right? I didn't even really discuss these such words until I started to build up my own self-esteem. It's words such as prosperity, gratitude, reciprocity, wealth, good health. All of these words, victory, I am that I am, right? All of these type of frequencies that I've given you are about the fifth dimension, and that's the place, the natural place where we're meant to be as human beings, right? That's a place where we can experience the fullness of our soul embodiment in this incarnation, in this vessel that is this human. So, a lot of times our sort of pathway towards integrating and developing that fifth dimensional stream of energy, that fifth dimensional channel in this physical, third dimensional form, which really isn't third dimensional. Our body, our aura, our whole 10 body chakra is really fifth dimensional. It's very spherical, right? The Merkaba that we have is quite spherical. There's a sort of geometry to the evolution and revolution of this energy system. But since we're coming from a period on this earth where we haven't really activated it, we haven't really it's atrophied, right? We haven't been working the muscle, right? For a lot of us, and if we have, a lot of us were, stoned alive, we're the witches, that type of thing. So, even then we couldn't really fully develop the 10 body, the 8 chakra, the 32, the 360 senses, right? So we are very, very multidimensional and very multi-talented when we start to build up our self-esteem. So, when we're, dealing with, just the more lust, cardinal, usually it's associated with inner conflict, usually outer conflict, usually there can be dramas associated with it, like dramas can be karmas where, you're having, karmas have to do with habits, behaviors that can be sort of that need to be cleared, that need to be cleared because they could be, somewhat destructive, or they could be somewhat holding you back, or, there could be some sort of negativity, even negative residue from, past lives, ancestors in your bloodline, right? That you're clearing to really bring about more of a channel that is more consolidated in the fifth dimensional sound code, right? So if we have poverty, we don't just jump to prosperity and that kind of sound code. With the poverty, there's there's karmas with that, and those karmas can be, not following your heart, not taking risks, being scared of the unknown, being uncomfortable by change, because poverty means there's dangers and these type of things. So what's going to happen is the karma is going to present you, these kind of situations or these type of tests or these kinds of life lessons that you're going to have to pass and navigate through in order to, to build back up the prosperity within your sound, right? Within your energy system, right? And we can do that with relationships as well. If you've come from relationship, your parents, they weren't together, or they didn't like each other, or divorce, or just some kind of karma in the way that is affecting you now as an adult, you're gonna have life lessons where you're gonna be presented with something that's gonna bring about a great emotional maturity, right? So that you can build up that kind of relationship sound code in you of harmonious partnership. Right? So sometimes, we repeat things in many ways so that we can thoroughly clear it, right? Because when you really get it, it's like you get it, and you can really, really move on from it. So with, a lot of the main thing about, the one night stands, miscellaneous, mindless, random sex is the low self-worth, and how that has to do with not truly listening or believing in our inner child. A lot of times we don't believe in our inner child because we're told, society tells us your imagination, right? Your creativity, no, your inventiveness, no, the kind of ideas or perception or sort of reality that you're sort of channeling from your inner child, your fifth dimensional self, society can put in this program, no. So, sometimes we start to have a relationship with our sexual and creative energy where we don't really believe in it. We don't really trust it. We don't really feel like it's valuable, right? And we can we want to experience it, but we don't really feel good enough to actually share it in reciprocity, share it in prosperity, share it in a sort of relationship harmony, because we ourselves don't even have that kind of imagination to think that that's possible for us. We don't have that affirmation, that visualization, right? Because in some way we have can even given up on that because of the programming, right? We allow that programming to kind of, split that natural sense of prosperity or relationship harmony. So, to build up that self-worth, again, that we can create these sort of ties to these people, either we're aware of it or not. And, these ties to these people can have a lot to do with the the sharing. It's like when we give something to someone, it's an offering. And, that offering in many ways is remembered, right? And like the inner child, when we give an offering to someone and it is not cherished or valued and it's not recognized for its beauty, that can be so discouraging for us, right? I'm sure we've all experienced that in some way, right? And not, just in sexual relationship, but, in sharing of our light, right? And, we think about lust, and the cardinal sex can be, very just hot, red chakra, very just, sex, money, food, and water, right? Just survival. It's just kind of like like there's a saying that, a man needs to F, so he will just F, and doesn't matter who it is, and that's that kind of survival, sex, money, food, and water. But that place has nothing to do with that inner child. It has everything to do just with the movement of energy. But, as we grow and mature as a species, as a spiritual being, we understand that you can move energy in other ways. And actually, it's a lot cleaner. If you're trying to move energy, it's a lot cleaner to move your energy through Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga, dance. There's, even piano, playing the piano, listening, going to jazz clubs, grooving. There's so many ways to move the energy, right? So, sometimes people, they just get they have so much stuck anger in that lower chakra. They can have some stuck, feeling of just, they don't have the energy. They don't feel good enough. They want to, like, that kind of thing. They're battling with themselves, and they want to feel good enough, and they need something to build up their self-esteem. So they use sex as a way to build up their self-esteem, as a quick fix. But little do they realize that sex is not to build up the self-esteem in the way of, trying to make you feel good enough, right, about yourself. The sexual energy is used for your creativity. And your creativity has a lot to do with you developing the energetic system, maturing the energetic system, harmonizing, equalizing, balancing out the energetic system, so that you can really open up the fifth dimension, which is your arc line, your auric field, which is your Sachic record, so that you can start to download and integrate talents, gifts, strengths from that expansive, multiverse of you in this physical form.